All right, so let's go ahead and start that one. Okay, before I go ahead and start, guys, the commercial project is already set up for you on the team folder. The students team folder is exactly like we did for residential projects. All the documents that you're looking at right now, and I'm going to be reviewing all of these documents, that you have a handout of, are in the instructor folder. So if you go to the instructor folder, commercial project, and you go to commercial design, that's a project. You're going to have one folder for the commercial design project and one for the calculation, and another folder. You're going to have another folder here, one for the theory and one for the calculation. These are the 3 classes that you guys are going to have with me for 7 weeks. So if you go to the project and you get into the work and scope, all the documents that I gave you right here, Dirk, in this handout are here electronically. Why am I telling you this? When we start doing Revit and you need to type the table of contents or um, the sheets, the first page is going to have the sheets, index for the sheets, E1 through E10. Instead of typing them, guys, you can go there to the Word document, copy them, and paste them. That will expedite the process. Did you guys hear me? So a lot of the stuff is right in here. The second document that I gave you is the syllabi. Can you guys see the syllabi? Here's the syllabi for the theory, is right in here, and for the lab, syllabi for the theory is right in here, and the syllabi for the calculation class that we're going to have is right in here. All electronically available as well as the handouts. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We fully understand that one as we move on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, and then that's the layout. Then who's team 1? Team 1 is my friend Matt. If you go to your team 1 here, it's already, the commercial project is already set up for you. So if you're going to go to the commercial project, you're going to find all the design stuff. This is all the stuff they're going to do for the commercial project. You're going to fill all these folders. You're going to spend a lot of time in the design drawing. So you go to the design drawing. So important to understand that one. That's where you're going to put your Revit, all your Revit sheets. When you guys go there, I'm looking at team 1, but that's the same thing for any of the teams that you guys have. You're going to have a folder called architectural, has a Revit file that's named architectural-commercial A Central 2013. This is the 3D model of the commercial project that we have. 3D model in Revit of the commercial project that we have. You're not going to touch this one. This is your XREF. The architecture. Remember the XREF file that I gave you when we were doing CAD? Here's my friend. Sorry, that's all right. You want to get? I'll get to this stuff here. So the architectural folder, Derek, my friend, is equivalent to the XREF. You don't touch it unless I ask you to go change things in the XREF. All your work, Karen, is going to be in a folder called ELEC, electrical. When you click on this one, you're going to find a backup copy as well as the central file. I have already created a central file for each and every one of you guys. This central file can be accessed by you and I only. If you have team members like we have done in the past, it will be also accessed by your team member. When it comes to the way Revit works, guys, unlike CAD, you can simultaneously work on the same project. So if you guys, 4 of you or 5 of you are in one team, I can give you access where you can simultaneously work in the same file. Okay, so that's a unique to Revit for the most part. So that's what you're going to spend most of your time. That's where the project is. Okay, don't open anything yet. I'm just showing you what we have. Okay, any question, guys, about the layout? The layout of the projects. Brian, you're going to be team 5. I'll give you access to team 5 later on, joining us. The rest of you guys know your teams, right? Everybody knows where their team is. We'll do the same thing except with Revit. Okay, so let me go ahead and start with the syllabi. What are we guys charging you an arm and two legs for, right? Have you ever wondered why are we charging you an arm and two legs for? I'm going to start with the second document that I gave you guys. Well, let's start in order. Let's do the first one. I'm going to go, okay, let's start with this syllabi, the first one. Can you guys see the syllabi? Everybody can see that one? So this is called Electrical Commercial Design Project. This is the project, fall 2013. This is the project that we're going to be doing. It's close to 12,000 square foot commercial office building. And your job, one-story building, commercial office, 12,000 square foot. Our job is to do a complete design of light, power, and low voltage for this 12,000 square foot, one office commercial, one-story commercial building. That's your job. Everything they did for the residential, we're going to do it for the commercial. Keep in mind, it's one-story building. We're going to do light, we're going to do power and circuiting, light and circuiting, low voltage, and connecting them. Plus the schedules and the lighting and everything that we have done. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We fully understand what the layout of what we're supposed to achieve here. Okay, the syllabi. This is just what you guys are getting for this class. All the information here is about me is here, the email and so forth. You guys have been great for the first 7 weeks. Attendance has been almost 100%. Thank you. I really appreciate that one. One of the best classes. And I didn't have any problem. You have my cell phone. I don't know if you guys can see where my mobile is here. Feel free to call me if there's an emergency related to school, of course, not coming. And my email, like I showed you before. And then Blue 19 is where my office do. I sit here all the time. You've seen me, Adam. I'll come here and I stay here. So if you need my help before and after, please utilize me. I'm here from 7 o'clock until 2:30. We're going to go. There's a few things. We have a few softwares we want to introduce. So you please, I can't emphasize, pull me out of here. Say, Chad, like Adam is notoriously famous one. Thank you, Adam. Keep bugging me. You guys are paying for my time. Keep in mind, you are paying for my time. If I was in your shoes, I will bug my teacher to death. So get the best out of Mr. Curdy, and then leave out of here with as much knowledge as you can to build your career. That's what you're trying to do. Okay, here's the time for this class, guys. The lab is going to start from 9:30 to 12:25. That's with our time for the lab. We're in red 10 where we are here. All the information about the lab is in course website, My Dunwoody. I already built and gave you access to this one. All of you guys have access to it. It's already built in terms of grade and so forth. The name of the class is Electrical Commercial Design Project. Your job, like I said, is using Revit. We're going to be using Revit for this class. Revit MEP, design a lighting, power, low voltage, with circuiting, with the schedules, with the line schedule, with the details for this close to 12,000 square foot commercial building, one-story commercial office building. Cool. That's what this job is. And then you guys will submit this project exactly like you did for the residential project. Thank you. Right here, you're going to put it in a binder like this with all the details in it, and give it to your friend Chad, and that will be your grade on this project. Okay, so that's that. It's a 3 credits, so you guys paying for 3 credits for it. These are the prerequisites. You already done the prerequisites. The residential project is the prerequisites, and we use quarter number 1. So the only prerequisites for it is quarter number 1 electrical, and see how we do it now. Quarter number 1 electrical is the prerequisite for this class, as well as the commercial project, the residential project that we've done, which you guys have done. Okay, what do you need? We are still using 2011 NEC code book. We're not switching to 2014 yet, so this is going to be for you. NEC handbook is optional, but you need to have the NEC code book. Revit MEP 2000, I'm sorry, this should be 2013. So this is Revit MEP 2013 is what we're using for this project, not 12. We jumped into 13. So software number 1, count. We're going to be using Revit, new software you guys are going to learn. Software number 2, we're going to use visual lighting calculation. Lithonia software. I will ask you guys to download it, if free of charge, from Lithonia website. This software, I will walk you how to use it, and when you use it, it will give you the layout of all your lighting fixtures, indoor and outdoor, for that commercial project, based on the specification. So we're no longer going to do like we did in residential. What type of light, Chad, you want? Oh, pick a light for this kitchen. No, no, no. We already picked a light for you based on industry standards, based on history of using this type of building. This is the most common fixture that we use in this application. Hopefully you trust us. And I want you to use this fixture in this location. Your question would be, how many of these fixtures like this one you need? 1, 2, 5? The software will help you decide how many of these fixtures you need in this office building, and how do you lay them out in the ceiling? How far from the walls? How are you going to grid them? Cool. Great software. Microsoft project, we will be, how many of you guys have you've done Microsoft project with us, right? We will be doing a project construction schedule using Microsoft, starting from the pre-design or schematic design all the way into the commissioning of the building, moving through the design development, schematic design, design development, all the steps. These will get you who's doing what, when, and where. I'll walk you through how to use this one. So that's new, you're going to do. We will be using Power Tools for Window SKM. This software, new, see how all these are software. Power Tools for Window, we're going to do short circuit analysis and coordination and arc flash and load flow. So that will come way at the end. Another great software, keeps you busy doing a lot of analysis with it. We will design a generator to back up the building. That's new. So I have a software from Cummins. Cummins used to be Onan. They're major manufacturers of generators in the US, like Caterpillar. We will be using their software to size a generator to back up, complete backup for the power system of this commercial building. Cool? That's what you can do. So all these are new softwares. So please follow up with me like you did in the residential. You guys did a great job. Keep being track. There's a few things. All these softwares are easy to use, by the way. I know, Brian, you've used a few of them. Really easy to use. I walk you through using them in one day. And all of them are there. If you want to be ahead of me, you know where my YouTube channel, all this stuff that I'm telling you right now, we have done it last year, and it's in YouTube channel. So if you want to be ahead and see, let me see what Chad did about Cummins when he walked my comment. Go type Cummins in my YouTube channel, Power Cummins generator sizing, and it populates the walking presentation about sizing. Same thing about visual or Revit or everything else. Okay, core abilities. This is what we do, guys, that we require to add these. One is core abilities are the competencies college competencies that you're supposed to learn from this one is applying math and science. Everything that we do is math and science here. Communicate effectively by reading, writing, and listening and skills and so forth. You guys do that really good. Demonstrate civic, global, environmental, and cultural responsibilities. So these are a couple of things that the core abilities, every class that you take has a core abilities and program outcome that you're supposed to get out of it. So respect technical, academic, social, and artistic achievements. Use prior knowledge and obtain information to reason, apply concepts, and make critical judgments. So read through these 11 things, core abilities on your own. I'm going to go to program outcomes. You are to learn how to draft and interpret electrical projects, cite the National Electric Code, and design electrical system for buildings. That's the core of, they call them the program outcome. That's why you guys paid almost $6,000 for this class, all the 3 classes, right? You're paying a lot of money for this knowledge. So look me in the eye. When you graduate from here, if you don't know them, ask for a refund. Does that sound like Walmart? Ask me for a refund if you don't like it. So that's what you're asking for, designing a system. Manage electrical construction and engineering projects. We talk about Microsoft project management from the pre-design into the design construction. Okay, these 28 competencies are little skills that you're supposed to achieve. So when you guys go there, ask yourself at the end, and I don't know if you did ask yourself when we did the commercial project, have I learned this one after you finish from here, and how much do I know about it? For example, you need to design lighting, power, and HVAC equipment circuiting for commercial building. Adam, if I ask you, isn't that what you guys did with me 7 weeks ago, last 7 weeks? Is that what we did for residential project? We're going to do it for the commercial. Perform electrical load calculation for commercial building. Didn't you guys do it for residential building? You're doing it now for the commercial building. Perform lighting system calculation for commercial building. You have not done that. When you're done, you will be able to do lighting calculation. That's completely different for a commercial building. Perform power generation system calculation. Perform power generation system calculation for commercial building too. Sizing a power backup. Prepare calculation for sizing generators and electrical rooms and so forth. Sizing the gen. Design security system. Design fire system, phone system, lighting and power and HVAC circuiting. Layout, so all these is layout design. Then you have to lay out all your lighting system, security, fire alarm, phone, all these, and power and HVAC layout. You know what layout is? You put them in CAD. First you design, yeah. How many circuits do I need? How many receptacles in each circuit? That's a design. Then you start laying them up. You guys, that's what we done. What you've done with me. Then perform linking of architectural plans to commercial project. That's linking. Linking is like XREFing. You guys remember we did XREF with CAD? Instead of XREF with Revit, we call it linking. So how do you link a project? Have you guys, anybody have done that? You haven't done linking, right? You have done XREFing with me, but you haven't done linking, other than Brian. Develop electrical title blocks. We're going to do electrical title blocks for the commercial building. Organize electrical drawings, how to put them E1 through E12. You're going to build them tomorrow. We're going to start building them. Exactly like you guys E1 through E12 for the residential building. We have E1 through 10 for the commercial. Perform drafting and plotting, how to draft and plot from Revit. We'll talk about this one. Write electrical equipment specification. We give you a spec. We don't go too much into writing them. Hopefully, at least you understand them. Scope of the work and accepted manufacturer for commercial buildings specify. So we'll talk about what type of manufacturers do you need. Is it Color Hammer, Square D, Siemens? We touch on that one, and we bring a lot of speakers, guys, to talk about these equipments. Energy code. You guys will be required to do energy code analysis on this building. We have another software called CompCheck from Uncle Sam that we use. The U.S. The feds, the Department of Energy, the Federal Department of Energy has a software called CompCheck that we use to run energy code analysis on the buildings. Very easy to use. We picked Minnesota. Unfortunately, it's not approved by Minnesota Energy Code, but it's as close as you can get without getting into too much details. It's approved in a lot of other states. Develop design concept for commercial building. How do you design a commercial building and risers and so forth? Formulate electrical design drawings and specification for the commercial building. Develop presentation. For this project, guys, unlike the residential, you will be asked to present your project to the industry. We will invite we send an invitation to close to 400 people. We typically get 20 to 25 engineering firms and electrical contractors. They will come into the holding center downstairs, and you guys will present. How many of you have seen it? You've seen the presentation, some of you. I don't think you have seen the presentation. And this is your chances basically of getting a job if you don't have one, or proving that you deserve the job that you get if you have one. Derek, you're smart and you know what you're doing, and I right, Brian, and I'm up and running. Defend the project design. So they typically they're not too tough on you guys. They understand they're entry level, so they really they're not there to trick you. Don't be scared. Like, they're not sitting there to they might ask you 1 or 2 questions, but they fully understand that you're an entry level and you will make mistakes, and it's okay. So be aware when you do the presentation. Don't be panic and say, oh my God, I could not answer this question. If you answer all the questions, you shouldn't be here. You should be in the industry, believe it or not. I mean, you should be an expert. So enhanced design construction for aspect communication, internal and external. This is just for the communication. And okay, design grounding and bonding. We'll talk about grounding and bonding for the commercial building, guys. Document engineering, the artifacts that you're going to do. You will all document it in a big, nice looking binder. This binder will be sitting here exactly like the residential project. Feel free to look at it at any times. These are, I want to warn you, like I showed you guys the research project. There are mistakes here, and I intentionally leave the mistakes here. So I want you to pay attention to what I do, but this is probably good up to 85%. Let's get you a good idea from busy or not around, or you just don't want to bug me too much. You want to see how did they, just give me an idea how they lay out the receptacle. Here's a good example. Up to 85%. Pay attention, and with my red lines, we'll add 15% cover, but it's going to be right in there. Overcurrent protection, we're going to design that one and design low voltage lighting control system. This is another concept that we're going to do, guys. Overcurrent protection device, circuit breakers and fuses. We'll design that for the building. And a nice stuff we will be doing, low voltage lighting control system, a 24-volt control system that control a couple of lights and dim them and turn them on and off. We have speakers that talks about these, and so it's really you guys going to enjoy it. Okay, grading. How are you guys gonna do with your friend Chad? Design drawings. You guys have all these online. You have in front of you. All the Revit that you do. Look, this is what surprised a lot of people, guys. You're gonna spend a lot of time in Revit, but all your Revit is what? Can you guys read that one? How much you're gonna? All your Revit is only 40%. So you literally almost theoretically you cannot do Revit and you still pass the class with 60% if you get all the rest of them theoretically. But it's only 40% of the Revit. Revit is drafting. You are more than a drafter. You are designers. You need to understand what you're drafting. We have power system analysis, 10%. Lighting calculation, 5%. Assignment on time, I give you 5%. Project schedule, 5. Load calculation, 5. Energy code, 5. Generator sizing, 5. Cut sheet, 5. And specification, 5. That will add up to 100. That will be your 100% of your grade in the project. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We fully understand that one as we move through. Okay, thank you. Then we have a project binder. When you give me a binder like this, guys, in a nice looking binder like this, you'll get just by having tabs and table of contents and everything in it, I give you 5 points, right? So, and then presentation, I give you 5% of the presentation, 5 points. So when you do the presentation, I rate you in your presentation, and I'm really generous usually, as well as the industry rate you. Industry guys, they tend to be harsh a little bit, so they'll give you 2 out of 5 and so forth. I look at the progress. I know you guys over 12 weeks or more. So you'll get basically a grade out of 5. Most of the people will get at least 4, unless you really screw up. I give you 4 points out of 5. Cool? Here's the grading scale, guys. Here's where your A is going to be. 95 to get your A, % or more. So you look at these. Academic honesty and plagiarism. I don't know what you're going to do. The project is right in front of you. If you want to look how those guys lay out their stuff, see it. In our industry, guys, the first thing you do when you work in an engineering firm is they give you a project and say, look at it. See what our culture is. You no need to reinvent the wheel. The first thing you need to do when we get into this industry, guys, or any industry, is see what other people have done. Watch, observe, read. See what they have done it. Do a project or two like others. And then you start asking yourself, well, wait a minute, there's a better way of doing it. You know what I mean? You cannot find a better way right now. Derek, when you guys are inter-level, you can't, you have no history. Where am I going to put these receptacles in a cubicle? I don't know, right? But you see a couple of people putting it in certain location. Well, here's an idea. It must have been proven over the time that it's a good location for the receptacles or the lights. So let's see if we can get with this idea until I become more experienced and I've come up with and go into the field and see, oh yeah, this location of these receptacles is really awkward, so I'm not going to be using it. So you develop your own ideas. So no plagiarism. I don't see anything that you can plagiarize here. Add and drop. Anybody want to drop an ad? Let me know. Disability. Anybody need? I've known you guys for a while, so I don't think we have any problem with disability. Incomplete. I don't like to give incompletes, but if you have reason for so, I can give you an incomplete. Intellectual property statement. Don't steal anybody's work. Respect the environment and student behavior. You guys have been professionally for the last 7 weeks, and there's nothing to expect otherwise. You've been really acting very, very professional. Student academic assistance, if you need help, we have the Success Center that can help you. Or like I told you, I office, Brian, I do office here in my, right here. I don't go to my office. So I'm here from 7 o'clock until 2:30. If anybody need help, we can help you. All the information, guys, is about technology statement. You cannot use, you have to use the Dunwoody's technology for technical stuff. Don't things that don't use it for other things that aggravate us, I guess. All the information will be in my Dunwoody. Appropriate behavior, we talked about this one. I like to highlight these guys right in here. They work. Here you go. So classroom engagement, an assessment, a classroom engagement assessment. Um, this is exactly what I did for the residential project, guys. Cooperate with with and helping other students. Derek, you know how to do lighting, and Matt is stuck. If you ask you and help him, I give you credit for this. You know, we used to have a bigger classes. It made a lot of difference, guys. Now you're a smaller class. I can't handle you, but we used to have 20, 24 students for one faculty. It was harsh. Now you guys are a small class, but participate in classroom discussion. We're gonna have speakers and engineers walking in here, guys, paying attention to what they're saying and discussing with them is really nice, and I give you credit for this. Research a new classroom related subject and sharing it with students. I'll give you credit for this. Sharing employment leads, and you guys have done, Derek, thank you. You did that one with Adam. Provide constructive criticism for Chad when he gets off track and you yell at him. That's also, you get credit for that. I used to say attend North Central Electric League evening meetings. I mean, if you guys, when you get into the industry, attending all these industry organization and being a member of it is a great way of networking and maximizing your contacts. I told you the first thing is LinkedIn. You guys are on LinkedIn. You link to me. You link to a lot of other people. The first thing you need to do after you graduate is start building your professional contact list by joining organizations. So North Central Electric League is one of them. Attendance, unexcused absence, start and leave early. You guys have been really good for the most part, for all the part. I mean, you come always on time. You leave. I will continue to allow you guys to leave at noon if everything is okay, Brian. So we start at 7:30 sharp, please. So I can do my lectures at noon. If you're done with your work, we're supposed to be here at 12:30. But if you're done with your stuff by noon, you can leave and go to work. Continue to do that. But I'm here until 2:30. You know what I mean? But if you want to leave, I know a lot of you working. So you want to go to the work, that's fine with me. Computers shut down during lectures. I don't enforce that one anymore because there's a lot of things that you can, I hope, when I'm lecturing, I hope I don't walk around and see you guys playing games. That kind of disappoint me a little bit, turn me off. Attitude, you guys have been a very, very good group with good attitude. You're coming to learn, great. Neat, clean, and organized desk and basket. Looks for the most part, I didn't have any problem with your group, smaller group. So these are typical for all of them. Late work policy, I deduct 10%. I've never enforced that one. Attendance policy, I would like you guys here to be 95% of the time. That will give you like an absenteeism of 3 days. Otherwise, I will get into making the time. I don't want to get you guys making up time at all. So please get it done. Okay. I want to talk about the schedule, and the rest of it, can you guys see at the bottom, is week 1, week 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to week 11 schedules. I will go over this one with the schedules. Not now. Any comments, guys? Any questions about this syllabi? So the reason why I left the schedule at the end, because I have a project schedule. I'm repeating it in a project schedule. I'm just going to look at it there. Any comments, any questions? So that's the syllabi for the project. Now with the project, there will be 2 classes, go hand in hand. Class number 1 is called, we call it 2120, electrical commercial design theory. Same information here, guys. This class is 1 hour from 7:30 to 8:25. So if you're not here from 7:30 to 8:25, you're absent for this class. So be aware that we have a class start from 7:30 to 8:25, and then a class from 8:30 to 9:25, and then from 9:30 to 12:30 is the lab. You guys see how we run them? Okay, all the information here is the same. What is this class? Electrical Commercial Design Theory. This will get you, we will continue talking about the NDC code book, and we will introduce the science of lighting. We'll do a lot of lighting calculation. So we'll do classes, we'll take code, talk about the code. I have a book required to have. It's called Electrical Wiring Commercial. This is my required book for this class. With this one, guys, we talk about different wiring methods, EMT, MC, AC, different type of equipment, a load center versus panel boards versus switchboard, switch gears. So very, very important, and the requirement of the NDC code book. Like we did the theory. We call it a theory. What you need for this one is this book. Like I said, you need, this is version 14. Yep, 14. It's, how many of you guys have this book? Anybody have it? Okay. If you don't have the book, they have them downstairs. Please get that book. We're going to go through chapter 1, all the chapters through this book. This is, we're going to cover it from chapter 1 to chapter 22. I have 22 or 23. 22 chapters. We will be going over the 22 chapters in this. Great book for commercial. Cool. So make sure you have it. I give you guys, you have the information about it. Of course, we can't do anything without the Bible. So the Bible, the National Electric Code, is going to be a part of this calculation. Core ability, the same core ability that we did. The outcome of this class is cite the NDC code book, design a system, and manage the electrical project. Here's the competencies that you will learn, guys. Explain service entrance, conductors, feeders, and branch circuits. Isn't that what we did in the residential project? Now we're going to take it, we're going to touch the same concept 3 times here, guys. One with the residential, one the commercial, one the industrial. Hopefully by 3 times you get it, right, from a different angle, with slightly different, with slight modification. Explain service entrance equipment. So we'll talk about the feeders, branch circuits, the equipment, the transformers, the generator, lighting control panel, ATS, UPS. We have a UPS system. What is a UPS system? ATS. What's an ATS? We didn't use ATS. These are new concepts for the commercial project. We will be using them in the industrial though. Conductor, cable, conduit, and boxes for commercial building. What type of cable and conduit and boxes you can use for commercial building? In the residential, we used non-metallic, and we used raw mix. Now we're moving into a commercial office building. I cannot use, well, with some restrictions, engineered project, you shall not use a raw mix. So completely, you can't use that wiring method. It's not approved by engineer, when you as an engineer. Raw mix is the cheapest, worst cable that you can buy. So are we using MC cable, AC cable, EMT conduits? What the difference between them? You guys are going to be estimators, some of you. Which method is the best for this particular application? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Lighting system. Explain how does a lighting system for a commercial building, low voltage lighting system works. Then we'll do the security system, the same thing, how it works, the fire alarm, how it works, phone and data. Validate compliance with NEC code book for the commercial building. Validate compliance with the energy code. How do you read the energy code report that you're going to be generating and understand it? That will go through that one. Grounding and bonding. Explain the grounding and bonding. How many grounding rods and grounding electrodes you need for the commercial building. Select overcome protection device. Explain power generation system, emergency legally, and option standby system. When we have generation, we have 3 systems that we can bring 1 gen to cover, or multiple gens. We call them emergency, legally required, and standby. And we'll talk about this one, guys. I know we talked a little bit, remember, talking about it in the residential. We'll continue talking about it in the commercial too. Analyze commercial building plans and specification, and explain low voltage control lighting system. So we're dancing around the same thing. You're going to see with the calculation, you do the calculation. So here's how I explain the 3 classes, guys. For example, take a low voltage system. One class, we explain to you what is a low voltage system. Explanation. Second, that's a theory. Second class, so here's a low voltage system. One phase of it is how does it work? What component do you need? Second class, how do you size it? The wires and the devices, right? That's a second phase of it. A third phase is now how do you lay out the system in your building? Can you guys see that? Every competency is 3-phase competencies. One is how does it work and operate? The second one, how do you size it? The third one, how do you design it and put it in your building? Same thing for power and lighting and HVAC and so forth. Okay, how am I gonna assess you guys? You care about the grade. Nobody ever failed this class, so you guys will. I hope you wouldn't be the the first to fail here. Nobody. Okay, we have test 1 through test 4. 12.5% is the grades for each one of these tests. Classroom engagement. When you're engaging with Chad and the speakers, I give you guys 10% for classroom engagement and homework 10. Final is 30%. Here's how you get your A's with Chad with the grade scale. We talked about academic honesty and plagiarism. You don't have to cheat on a test. If you're a test and you're stuck with a question, ask me. I'll give you a hint. So you don't no need to cheat. Incomplete. Hopefully none of you guys will get into these. We talked about all these technology. We talked about classroom engagement, what you need to do to get the classroom engagement, late work policy, attendance. Okay, I want to go all the way to the schedule. This is how I'm going to run this class, guys. All these chapters are coming from what? From that book that you're looking at. So week one is this week. By the way, I have here week 1, week 7. This is week 1 of the commercial project, week 7 of the semester. Can I get you guys to understand when you see W1 and W number 7? This is week 7 of the semester, and this is week 1 of the project. We have 11 weeks to finish this project. Okay, so when you see week 1, this week we're supposed to do introduction. We're doing the introduction, and we're supposed to do chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I'm going to be picking this information, putting it right here. Can you guys see that? You see we have 220, 2120 theory, chapter 1, chapter 2, and the homework is due on Mondays, like we've done in the past. Chapter 2, so almost we're going to average what? 2 chapters a week. That's not a whole lot. Remember, this is one class, there's another class too. We have a test on week 3. Can you guys see that? And then we have a test also in test number. We have multiple tests. We have test in week 3, and we have a test in week 6 here, and we have a test in week 9, and a test in week 10, and a final week 11. We will cover the 22 chapters in this book. Only 22 chapters. That's how many chapters in this book. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We fully understand how we're going to run this class, the commercial project. Straightforward, like you did. You do your homework. Either you do by hand, show it to me, check you, I don't correct them. Or you can put it on the network like you have done. Answers, if needed, I have the answers for all these questions, if you ask me for it. Any comments, guys? Any questions about this class? Any comments, any questions about this class? Does it make sense? Yes, no? So that's class, that's what we call the theory. I'm going to go minimize this one. And I want to go back to, let me close my email, keep popping up here. So the last class that you're going to do with your friend Chad in these 7 weeks, guys, is called calculation. Dirk, my friend, back to the one competency. So here is power layout. So receptacle. So the way we deal with it, guys, calculation, you need to calculate how many receptacles you can put in one circuit. That's calculation. One at 1 amp circuit. Then, where do you need the receptacle? That's the code. That's a theory. And then the third phase would be for this competency is how do you lay out the receptacles in your building? Can you guys see that? That every competency that you do, we touch it 3 times. We touch it. What does it mean in the code and where it's needed? How do you do calculation for it? And then how do you take it, the knowledge in the calculation and theory, and lay it out in a commercial project using Revit? That's what we're doing here. These 3 classes are entwined with each other to get you hopefully 100% of the knowledge that you need for every competency. Does that make sense? The competencies, same information here, guys. It's called the electrical commercial design calculation. All the calculation that you need for sizing the building and so forth, we're going to do it. For this project, guys, I recommend, I don't require it, electrical exam preparation book. I do not require this book. I used to in the past. I recommend that. I do need the second book. I do a lot of lighting calculation, guys. So I need you to buy this book. This is cheap, easy book. It's downstairs. It's called Step by Step Lighting, Guide to Lighting. Please don't be Surprised when you see that little thing in the back? It is a little bit backward. It's cheap book. When it comes to lighting calculation, guys, please, the minute that you get this one, just get rid of it and throw it. I'm in with a simple way of doing lighting calculation. International Illumination of International Illumination Society of North America puts tons and tons of material about lighting, guys. A lot of books about lighting. I intended to use a smaller book, very cheap, easy to use book about the science of lighting. Now, Matt, you're going to learn lighting not from this book only. You're going to learn it from a software that we have. So this will give you what's the science of lighting calculation. Okay, so this is required, guys. Please make sure it's downstairs. Make sure you get it. Step-by-step lighting. Okay, so these are the two required ones. This one and electrical estimating, and electrical exam preparation. These are coming. They're not required now. They will be in the commercial project, in the industrial project. Next project, we will use the electrical estimating book. So for the time being, all what you need you guys to get, everybody got that one? Step by step, that's the only required one. The rest of them, optional. Okay. Now, the same thing, guys, you need to cite any secret book and design electrical system. That's what you need. Here's all what the competencies for this class. It's the key word for this, guys, is how do you calculate the branch circuits, feeders, and service conductors for a building? How do you do a commercial load calculation for a building? How do you do calculation for the security system, the fire alarm, the phone? Calculation. Can you guys see that? Calculation. So, and lighting. How do you do the lighting for lighting calculation? I don't know how many, you probably guys don't know the foot candle. How many foot candles I want right at the top of Adam's head, for example? How do you do the calculation right in front of you, Adam? How do you do foot candle calculation? So that's what we're going to be doing. Sizing, perform motor calculation, capacitor sizing, and so forth. Manual lighting calculation, we're going to do that 1 point method, basic flood lighting calculation. Make lighting drawings, specify lighting sources, perform roadway lighting a little bit. No, we don't touch too much on that one. Overcome protection device sizing, grounding sizing, sizing for the low voltage systems. All the keyword is you can see is sizing. Sizing electrical load for a commercial building, sizing the conductor of the boxes and conduits and so forth. So when you have a branch circuits and feeders, you are to give me a complete functioning electrical power lighting system for this building. Any comments, guys, about this class? It's all about sizing, calculation, basically. Any comments, any questions about the competencies? So the same competencies looking at it from a different angle. Here's the four tests that you guys in the classroom engagement and the homework and the final, identical to the second class that we did. We talked about all this stuff. I'm going to go all the way, guys, down to the schedule right here. Okay, so here's how we're going to run this class. We're going to do the first two chapters, guys. I don't know if you can see them. It's called NEC Exam Prep Chapter 11 and Chapter 12. I'm going to go over these two chapters. It has commercial load calculation in it and commercial load calculation and sizing, transformers and so forth. Then week 3, I'm going to switch into this book. In week 3, I'm going to switch into this book. Can you guys see that? I'm going to start using chapter 1 and chapter 2 from this lighting book. And there's a homework for it. Then we do an exam in chapter 11 and 12 in the NEC exam prep book. Then we'll continue doing all these chapters, guys. We have 4 exams all the way to week 11 where we're going to have our final. And the final exam will be from chapter 1 through chapter 16 only in this book. So for the calculation, guys, the focus of the calculation really is lighting calculation here, plus some sizing for feeders, branch circuits, and services. Any comments, any questions? Does anybody have any comments, any questions? Do you guys see what we're doing? We have 2 classes, one calc, one theory, exactly like very similar to what we did in the residential. They're supporting a project. They're supporting a project. Any comments, any questions about these 3 classes? Any comments, any questions? Ryan, good? Good to see you, bud. Work is good? That's good. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go a little bit in more details about the project. So that's what the tool, so all the information that you're looking at, you do have a hard copy of it, these syllabi in the front of you, and it's also available online as an electronic copy. That's how I always do that. Let me give you guys 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the second handout that I gave you. Everybody can have the second handout. We'll talk a little bit about the project details. Okay, so let's do that.